last night. Yeah, we started arguing about R.J. Barrett. Gammo came on the show, and you know, when Gammo and Josh get in the same room, it's about to be lightning bolts. I mean, everybody was actually saying the same thing. It's just that Josh and Gammo always got a little, you know, they got the little rivalry going on. You know what I'm saying? So they were saying the same thing about R.J. Barrett. You know, Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Yeah, we were just having a few conversations about last night. I know you guys had your popcorn out last night because, you know, the lightning start going. You know, when Gammo and Josh get in the same room, it's about to start going. But it was fun, though. It was fun last night, man. We had a good time. Big shout out to you. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Or good evening if you're Andy. You know what I'm saying? We about to talk about and break down this game, the New York Knicks versus the Houston Rockets later on tonight. The game starts at 8 o'clock in Houston. It starts at 8 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 o'clock in Houston, I believe, something like that. So we're going to break this down and talk about it. I think this game is going to be way more challenging than some people might be thinking. Houston is a good defensive team, and they have some talent. They're injury prone. They got a lot of injuries right now, but I think we can pull the game out, but it's not going to be easy, especially since we're on the second night of a back-to-back. You know, so the game is going to be a little bit more difficult than you might think about, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that this is a team that's probably a little bit tough to game plan for because we don't know. I mean, they've been injured a lot of the season, right? They just got Victor Oladipo. You know, they had Russell Westbrook early in the season. He was traded. Now they got Victor Oladipo. They got a whole new team. You had Christian Wood who was doing work. Now he's out. So I don't know if you exactly know how to game plan for this team. I don't know. Let's talk to the panel. We're going to break it down and see what the Knicks need to do to beat the Houston Rockets and extend or build a winning streak so we can win our second in a row and take advantage of this so-called light schedule. So-called light schedule. I'm going to say so-called because with the Knicks, like I was saying last night, you know, the way that we play a slowed down type of basketball game, all it takes is for us to have an off night and then a team that we should be winning by double digits or beating by double digits could be closer than expected because of the style of basketball that we play. But Prince, initially, your thoughts on tonight's game, and then we'll start to break it down a little bit further.
Tonight's game, I believe we approach it similar to what we approached last night. You got a prolific point guard that we got to deal with, and obviously, if we can kind of, keep him under his numbers and make sure he don't go for like 30 or 40, I got a good shot. I got a good, thought that we pull this one out. I don't see them really hurting us. I know they got some veteran leadership and House and not House, but my boy E. Gordon and PJ Tucker. So again, they it's not like they're trash. They're not the Washington Wizards, so again, it's kind of the same makeup. I mean, they got one star and a whole bunch of players who just, trying to fit in and trying to make it. I don't see them. I don't think they have a rim protector. Sorry about that, guys. I don't think they have a rim protector. So we should have I think we should have a pretty easy job scoring at the basket and getting to the rim. Now, finishing is going to be our Achilles heel, but I don't think, that should be much of an issue. Julius should have a good game today. I don't see any trees that they have that really can slow him down unless they, put PJ Tucker on him early. And I still don't, think that's going to give Julius too much trouble. I mean, PJ Tucker's a good defender, but we know Julius' kryptonite is long, tall, and lanky. So PJ really doesn't fit that. So look forward to this game. Hopefully we galvanize. Hopefully the young kids get some more minutes like they did yesterday, and we get up to 15, 20 points in the third quarter.
Yeah. Steph, your initial thoughts on the game?
I think it's going to be a close one. Do we know if Oladipo is playing today?
No, he's out.
'Cause I know he got hurt.
Yeah, he's out.
They said he's out.
Okay,
He's out.
Okay. I mean, I like our chances. I will say that Boogie is playing much better. He's getting more minutes now that Wood is out, and he actually looks like he's back to his old self in terms of hitting the 3-pointer, also being in the post, also passing out of the post. I saw their last game. I don't know if they won or they ended up losing, but he played very well in that game. So Mitch is out, right, with the broken hand. I mean, fractured hand. So that's going to be Taj, who I think would probably do a better job on him than Noel, especially if he goes down into the post. We talk about Peyton and everybody pissing on Peyton, but when it comes to guarding the opposing team's point guard, he's the one, and he usually does a good job. And we're going to need him tonight on Wall, who has his quickness. I don't think he's 100% John Wall, but that quickness is there. That burst is there. The 3-point shot is there. So Peyton is going to have to be on his game today. And just overall, I mean, I think with PJ Tucker, Randall can kind of shoot over him, but he may body Randall. I don't know if Randall's going to be able to overpower him.
Right.
Because he's really, he's really strong. Right. So I think it's going to be a good game. I'm really interested how we're going to play defensively without Mitch. Like, I'd be like, well, Mitch is looking kind of regular, but we're going to see if they go off in that spot, then I might have been underestimating them.
Yeah. And I can see Randall shooting a lot of fadeaway jump shots today because it's going to be hard for him to just power his way to the basket. Because like you said, PJ Tucker is strong. Right. So I could see Randall, using his shoulder to bump up against him and fade back and shoot that fadeaway jump shot, which he's been successful at doing. He's been successful at hitting that shot, Chop, what's going on, man? You ready to give us your initial thoughts on tonight's game?
In my mind, and salute to the panel, listen, salute to the chat, but in my mind, the way we came out last night, and I fell asleep watching the game, so I'm on my way home now. I'm going to watch the replay, if you will. But I think we need to, like she said, we need to contain John Wall. And remember, when Peyton was coming out of college, high school, I've been hearing this, and I never knew this, they compared him to the glove as far as his defensive play style, right?
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have to hold John Wall down. Now, the next thing now is because you said PJ Tucker is going to be matched up with Randall. I thought it probably would have been DeMarcus Cousins.
Now, I think DeMarcus Cousins would be matched up with Noel most likely because I don't think that he's got the speed to go up to defend Randall out in open space. I think Randall can go by him easy. In the post, he can deal with it, but if you take Randall, put him out on the wing or at the elbow, I'm not sure DeMarcus Cousins can stay in front of him, Randall. So I think it'd be more PJ Tucker.
More PJ Tucker.
That's defending Randall, yeah. At least, with that starting unit.
Yeah, I think defensively, we're going to have to be aggressive on defense to contain John Wall. And listen, DeMarcus Cousins, he's not no slouch either. You know what I'm saying? He's a little crafty too. He's like a new improved Zach Randolph kind of, So we gotta be careful. But I'm looking to see DeMarcus Cousins get a couple of texts and get thrown out.
I mean,
you know how he is.
But I think DeMarcus Cousins has grown a little bit. you know, he's been humbled and he's grown a little bit. He's still DeMarcus Cousins. I'm not saying that. He's still DeMarcus
Not
Cousins,
the
but
Russell, yeah, he's still.
But I think he'd be all right. I don't think he's going to get thrown out unless the game gets real physical or something like that. Looking at the last game he played against Miami, he had 16 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Before then, against New Orleans, he had 7 points, 7 rebounds. His minutes were a little lower. He's got a bigger role now with Christian Wood being out. So you're probably going to see better production from DeMarcus Cousins, because his role is much bigger now. Joe, what's going on with you, man?
What's happening, buddy? How you doing? Salute to the chat. How's everybody doing today?
Pretty
Doing good,
pretty
man.
good.
We're doing good, man. How are you feeling, though? You're the one we need to be asking. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I slipped. I went out to get tested the other day, and I slipped on ice, and I banged up my back of my arm. But,
Oh boy!
so I haven't had a great month. But the Knicks are winning games.
That would be pretty bad to survive COVID and then get all messed up because you slipped on some ice. I don't mean to laugh at you, Joe. Right. I'm just saying that'd be messed up.
Yeah. Bit of bad luck, but look, the Knicks are playing well, so that's keeping me happy.
Yes,
there you go.
A good win a nice big blowout win last night, which I was expecting. I thought they needed to go out and dominate last night because Westbrook was their only guy and he nearly got his triple-double, but they done what I expected to do, just block the paint and make Westbrook shoot. So I was very happy with the win. Tonight you got to shut down John Wall. I think once you keep John Wall quiet, we can win the game.
Right.
Our bench is going to be key because Houston's bench is very weak. So I think quickly, Obi, Rose, they'll have a big game tonight, hopefully. Because if they have big games tonight like they did last night, then we should be able to win this game because I was looking at Houston's bench, and Houston's bench is very weak. They only have Eric Gordon's their only real scorer off their bench.
Right. Just going back real quick about last night's game, you brought that up. I was really surprised how in the fourth quarter, the Wizards just basically doing the towel, like early in the fourth quarter. Right, the Knicks went up 17, 18 points, and they had no more fight. That was just it. And the Knicks all of a sudden were easily scoring at the basket, easy dunks, and it was just done from there. It was like, I'm looking, it was like 9 minutes or something left in the fourth quarter, maybe an 17, 18 point game. At that point, you go on a run, you're still in striking distance. You know what I mean? Especially with a team that can score the basketball. They just had no fight. It was like they just said, forget it, we're done. And the game was, over at that point.
I think they could be tanking. I think they're close to making a decision about tanking. Because I think they kind of threw in the top when they sat Beal. I was like, okay, then this should be an easy win for the Knicks. So I think they're getting close to maybe even moving Westbrook and moving Beal and just tanking. Because you look at their record, they're way away from the playoffs.
Yeah, they're way away. And, looking at them, there's no way that they're going to get into the playoffs. Everything, whatever's going on there is just not working. It's destructive. I don't think that Beal is going to be moved this year, though. I don't. I think
the off season, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
If he asks for it.
Yeah, if he asks for it, I feel like he might play out his contract and then decide to go. Which might not be the best idea for him because he's 27. By the time his contract is up, he'll be 29. He'll still be in the middle of his prime, but do you want to waste, a couple years of your prime?
Towards the end of it. Yeah, towards the end of his prime when that contract's up. Because is it, 2 years left and then a player option, I think? Right?
I think, something like that. I think it's got this year, next year. Maybe it is that. Maybe it's this year, next year, then a player option. So maybe he decides to opt out of that player option. I know it's a lot of money, but you would think that he would be able to sign on someplace and still make that amount of money wherever he signs on. as long as he's healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Bradley Beal, he's got this year at 28.7. He's got 2021, 2022 at 34.5. And then he has a player option for 2023 at 37. 37 is going to be a lot of money to pass up. But as long as he's healthy, I would think that if he opted out of that contract, he'd be able to get another contract with another team, you know, for 4 years, making the same amount of money.
Same money, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, he would lose a year because he's signing with another team, so they couldn't sign him for 5 years. They could only sign him for 4 years. You know, so I guess we'd see what the money means to him. Who knows?
I'm just surprised I'm just surprised he hasn't said that he wanted out yet, or like he said he wants to stay in Washington. But
I'm telling you,
it could be other factors too.
Yeah, I live in D.C., right? I live outside of D.C., not in D.C., and he is a family-oriented guy that,
right,
you know, is loyal. You know, he's one of those type. You know, I don't want to say one of those type of people, but that's who he is. You know, and he wants to try to stick it out and make it work.
Like Damian Lillard.
You know, yeah, you know, he wants to stick it out and make it work. I mean, there are other factors. You got to move. You got to uproot your family, move your family to this place, that place, and he doesn't strike me as that type of person that wants to be moving his family all over the place. Kind of wants to be settled. I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
If he wanted out, he wouldn't have signed the extension.
You know, I mean, I don't know about that, because in today's NBA, you can sign an extension and know that you can ask for a trade and get moved. We see it all the time. People sign an extension, then they say, I don't want to be here anymore, and they get moved to another team. So I don't think that's an issue. But I feel like he's just that type of person. When he does sign to another team, you may even see him stay on the East Coast so that he can be close to his family and all that kind of stuff, because he seems to be that kind of person. Unlike John Wall, when he was with the Wizards, you heard all kinds of stuff about where John Wall was the night before. And people that seen him at this place and that place. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to say what places and put it out there, but you heard it all the time. You know, it's not the same thing with Bradley Beal. You know, so that's why I'm not really surprised that he wants to try to stick it out in D.C., you know, try to make it work. But anyway, back to Houston. Nate, your thoughts on tonight's game?
Good morning. Good morning, chat.
Good morning.
Well, good afternoon. Good morning from you. Good afternoon for us.
Good afternoon. Good morning. I mean, I'm an hour behind y'all, so.
Right. So it's 11:30 what Nate is.
Yeah, exactly. Still morning.
You live in
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
We all over.
Right. Yep. That's what I'm saying. We everywhere.
Connected everywhere. So for Houston, I'm a little worried about this matchups because there's a lot of mismatches for us in some aspects. I think Boogie against Noel is going to be tough. I mean, Noel is not a big dude. He's a very stickish kind of guy, and Boogie's a big man with girth. And I think he's gonna pound Noel into the ground, in my opinion, or Noel's gonna get in foul trouble. The shooters, Gordon and House, can shoot, and when they get hot, they get hot. The one guy I'm worried about is Jayshawn Tate. Nobody's talked about Jayshawn Tate. Very athletic forward. Can get above the rim, can get to the cup. Very good defensive player. He was out of Auburn, I believe, undrafted. Really played well. And I think it's going to give fits for Barrett. Barrett's going to have a hard time with him because he's a big dude who's athletic. And so and then of course, John Wall against Peyton. I think Peyton can do his best to keep John Wall in check, but John Wall is very fast and John Wall can get to the cup very quickly. So this could be a very tough matchup for the Knicks. The defense is really going to have to be on their P's and Q's as far as, you know, talking, making sure they get the rotations right, because Houston's one of those teams, like we talked last night, they're not the old Houston team. They're very good defensively, and they shoot the three still. I think they shoot about 35% or something like that, but they take a lot of threes too. So they're going to spread the Knicks out. And without Mitch, it's going to be tough because you're gonna have to have Noel get out there and guard a guy like Boogie who could shoot the 3 too. So
Yeah. But the only reason why I don't think it's as tough for Noel to get out there is because I actually would rather have Boogie going out on the perimeter to shoot the 3 and Noel guarding him out there than killing him in the box. Because we seen Lopez last night. Noel had no chance of guarding Lopez in the box, right? Because he's just so thin. And I think Boogie in the box against Noel, he's going to beast him. He's going to put him on his hip and just go to the cup.
Barbecue
and
chicken.
I'm afraid that Noel is going to get into some foul trouble. Let's talk about that for a minute. With Mitch out, Nerlens Noel is going to be the starting center. You got Taj Gibson coming off the bench, and I think we might see some Kevin Knox tonight because I think we'll go with that small ball lineup, especially what's DeMarcus Cousins, 6'10"?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
6'11" and 6'10".
Yeah, 6'10", 6'11". It's a little bit taller than Randall, but I could see Randall playing some small ball 5 with Obi at the 4 and Kevin Knox coming in at the 3. And tonight, so that you don't have to use Taj Gibson for 25 to 28 minutes or something like that. So I can see us going to that small ball lineup tonight, given who we're playing. So I do look forward to seeing Kevin Knox play. And here's another chance for him to come in and prove that he deserves to be in that lineup and not just situational.
Yeah. Who is the backup big man? Who is Houston's backup big man since Wood's out? So the Boogie starred him, but who's backing him up?
Who's backing up DeMarcus Cousins?
They have Wooten on the team, don't they?
Who?
Wooten? Didn't they sign him to the
Wooten?
Oh, Wooten.
Kenny Wooten?
Kenny Wooten.
Oh, Kenny Wooten. Oh, Kenny Wooten. Kenny Wooten
Him. I thought they waived him.
Yeah, I think they waived Kenny Wooten. Right. So behind you got Curix. Right, you got Curix coming behind DeMarcus Cousins. They might play. What's his name? Who were we just talking about?
They have a rookie guy, don't they? I think that they.
I don't know. But we were just talking about. That's going to be guarding Julius Randle.
They might PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker. They'll probably play PJ Tucker at some center.
Yeah.
Right. They'll probably put Tucker at some center spot when they go small.
And Tucker's a good defender, man.
So,
he's gonna have a hard time. Randall's gonna have a hard time with Tucker, man. Tucker gets under your skin. He's a big base dude.
Yeah, and the thing is, because we have guys like Nerlens Noel, and even if Mitch is out there, who's not a big threat in posting you up and scoring, you can get away with having PJ Tucker play you on defense, right? Because the only thing you're worried about with those guys is if they're going to catch a lob. And they're not going to shoot from the outside. So you can see PJ Tucker playing some center going up against Nerlens Noel. And I think if they do go small in that way and PJ Tucker's playing some center, that's when you will really see the Knicks go small with Julius Randle playing center, and Obi Toppin at the 4, Kevin Knox at the 5. And
why we can get away with that, Sim? I'm looking at their roster. We could probably get away with that. Wood is out. DeMarcus is 6'10", and what's this guy? Curix is 6'9". Everybody after that is 6'6" and smaller.
Right. Yeah, they have
and shorter.
All 5 guys coming off the bench are guards.
Yeah,
for them the last 2 games. So they'll probably
they're used to playing small ball. They've always played small ball. They've never had big guys other than maybe a center or something like that. So they're used to playing that type of system.
Right, but we can get away with going smaller, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Especially with Mitch out. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So
I like to see a lot of Obi, maybe Randall at the 5 and Obi at the 4, because we haven't really seen a lot of that yet. I think this would be a game when Boogie sits to try and do that a little bit, because PJ Tucker will be backing up to 5. He's only 6'5", 6'6".
Right. Yeah, he's like 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
If there's any game to try and test that out for a couple of minutes or even half a quarter, this I think to be the game to do it.
Well,
he's 6'5".
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think we'll see. We will definitely see that when they put PJ Tucker at center. Now, Eric Gordon, of course, is another threat. He's averaging 18.6 points per game. He shoots 36% from 3, 46% from the field, and he can get hot. He could definitely get hot. You know, he's one guy that you gotta watch and make sure that you're playing defense on. You don't want him lighting it up against you. For the most part, though, you know, they're not an uber talented team as currently constructed against us. We should be able to play a good basketball game against them. I do think it's going to be a scrappy type of game, right? Because they're a good defensive team. They're rated number 4 in defensive rating in the league. We're rated number 2.
Wow.
Now, then they're also down at the bottom in scoring. You know, they're like 26th or 27th or something like that in scoring. And of course, you know, we score the least amount of points in the league. So, you know, it's going to be a hotly contested type battle. And then you got a guy in John Wall who can obviously, you know, be a huge threat from the point guard spot. He's quick. You know, what's his name? Can't even think of his name. You know, but he's gonna have to be ready to play defense. Elfrid Payton is really gonna have to be ready to play defense, be on his game. You know, don't let John Wall just blow past him and get into the lane anytime he wants to and kick it out to Eric Gordon for open threes. Right? So we need Elfrid Payton to really be on his defensive game tonight. A lot of guys are going to have to help out, be ready to help out if John Wall's, you know, blows past him and gets into the paint. We're going to need defenses on a string, but then ready to rotate. I think the last 3 games we did game 1 versus Miami, we didn't do too good. Game 2 versus Miami, I thought we did a great job. Last night, I thought we did a pretty job getting out the 3-point shooters. We're going to need to continue to do that tonight.
Sim, I'm looking at Houston's injury report. It's saying PJ Tucker's questionable with a thigh and John Wall's day-to-day.
Yeah, right.
So Tucker might be out and they might not play Wall. He's still on day-to-day, but Tucker is questionable. So
right. PJ,
was it Lillard day-to-day?
Who?
He's always day-to-day. John Wall is always day-to-day.
Yeah, John Wall.
No, I know because he's on my fantasy team. He's always day-to-day.
He's got that insider information.
Right.
They have him on low management, but they didn't play a back-to-back. They played on, I think, Thursday. Wednesday,
Thursday. So they had a couple of days off.
Randall be smiling, that's for sure.
Right. Now, I think PJ Tucker's probably going to be playing. He's questionable. I think he might play. They need him out there. I think he might play. Of course, Victor Oladipo's out, you know, with a foot injury. Christian Wood is out. Dante Exum is out. And for the New York Knicks, of course, we know that Mitchell Robinson is out. We don't know the length of time yet. No,
have they said if is the hand? What is it? Is it sprained? Or?
It's fractured. It's a fractured hand, fractured right hand. So we don't know how long he's going to be out.
Probably they usually say that injuries you're out maybe like a month.
Yeah, about 3 weeks for it to heal. You know, and then you probably have to go through some testing to make sure that it's good and strong enough to come back.
I don't know. Do we need to make a? Do you think they're going to make maybe a small move for a center?
I don't think so. I think that if you listen to Tom Thibodeau last night, he said that he is comfortable and feels we have more than enough in the locker room with Noel, Taj Gibson, and then the way that he can use Julius Randle at center. Julius Randle last night said that he feels confident playing center, right? He said he feels extremely confident playing center. So I don't think that they make a move. If you do, you got to waive somebody.
Yeah.
Right? You got to waive somebody, So now you're looking at waiving the Ignaz Brezdikas or something like that. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. And it came down to the, like Mitch is going to be out long term. Then I think they might make a move. They would have made a move. But for a couple of weeks, they should be able to maintain. I do get concerned because Noel doesn't have a lot of, he's 6'10" and thin.
Yeah,
stupid fouls too.
He's a good shot blocker. He can go out on the perimeter and play some defense. But, he's not going to give us much offensively unless he's catching the oop or somebody's dishing it to him. And he might drop it too. So we miss out on some of the size that Mitch gave you. Mitch gives you a lot of length. He's taller. He's 7 foot. His shoulders are much broader than Nerlens Noel. So you know that he has a lot more size, a lot more, and he's going to grow into his body a little bit more as the years go on. Nerlens Noel is who he is. He's not growing anymore. And then Mitch can also jump with his length. You know what I mean? So now you got guys at the rim. They got to get the ball up really high over top of Mitch. So it's not just his shot blocking, but it's the way that he makes people change their shots. Noel does the same thing, though. He's actually leading the team in blocks. So, he's been playing well for us. In the beginning of the season, I guess I had too high of expectations, and I wasn't happy. But, he's fell into his role and has been playing well off the bench as another shot blocker. You know what I'm saying? So it hurts our defense. It really does hurt our defense with Mitch being out. Not because you got to put Noel in the starting lineup, but because we don't have that anchor. We don't have that defensive presence, that defensive shot blocker in the second unit now.
Right.
Now we're going with Taj, who was a good defender one-on-one, but he's not getting up and blocking shots. So
right. He'll give us a little offense too.
Yeah, he'll give us a little bit of offense as well.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that Dallas offered Noel $80 million.
Hey, man,
that was crazy.
He thought, and Noel thought that he was on his way to something better, man. But hey, those are the decisions that you make. 2.0. Those are the decisions you make. One thing that I'm looking forward to in that second unit, I think, if you watch the Wizards game last night, you're seeing in the third quarter, Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose isolate on one side of the floor and run that two-man screen and roll, where everybody else was bunched up over on the wing, right? So you would have your power forward, small forward, and shooting guard or point guard, whichever one you want to say, bunched up in like a little bunch set, right? And then you would have Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson just going two on two with that pick and roll, and they were eating him alive. Right, you seen Taj Gibson get a couple of buckets. You seen Derrick Rose pull up a couple of jump shots. And then what they have is, if they need to, they had Quickly over there bunched up with them guys. And then they would set two screens for Quickly so Quickly can come off the screen and Derrick Rose hit him for an open three. You know what I'm saying?
I like that play. I love that play.
Just nice old school basketball. Yes. Old school basketball just like basically opened up the entire court so that they could play 2-on-2. Mm-hmm. And you don't need...
I'm looking at that Derrick Rose move, and that Derrick Rose move, I think, was very, very smart. People were questioning about Quickly's minutes. I think Quickly's better off of the two. And I like the way both of them are running point at times, to swapping over and back.
Yeah.
So I think our bench is lethal. Lethal. I think our bench is going to win us a lot of games.
I think so too. But I'm looking forward to seeing some more of that. Some of the things you could probably go back and look at Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson from Chicago days and pull out some things that you would probably see them do for the next few weeks playing together in that second unit. I think that you might see see Taj Gibson operating from that elbow a little bit more, because he's done that with Tom Thibodeau in the past. And so with Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson in the lineup together, you might see him operating at that elbow with some guys cutting from the baseline, finding Obi, right? I think both players would be successful in finding Obi with Taj Gibson at the elbow, finding Obi moving along that baseline. That second unit is they're gonna have some good continuity, I think, and build some good things there. And, they could almost be good. Just imagine if Taj Gibson was a few years younger, they'd be almost as good as a starting lineup. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They'd be almost as good as a starting lineup.
Even at his age, Taj has shown he's got some spry in him. I mean, he's good for some baskets. I mean, he's not gonna, I think he could maybe score about 10 points a game.
Yeah.
I mean, he plays inside. He can get a little wing shot. He even shot a 3 yesterday, which wasn't a bad shot. He just rimmed it out, I think. So, I mean, you'd be surprised about Taj.
Yeah.
Man.
So
Taj
it's going to be, it's going to be nice watching them guys. And listen, and Taj Gibson and his, if he's giving you 10 to 15 minutes, he could play those 10 to 15 minutes at a high level, and that's all that you need is for him to play those minutes at a very high level. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. I'm seeing in the chat, some people talking about that second unit. And Craig Mack said, why is no one talking about IQ not playing efficiently? He was 5 for 16. Because that's going to happen.
He's a rookie.
That's going to happen. And I think by having Derrick Rose in that second unit, it really does take a lot of pressure off of Quickly and Obi. Because if they're not scoring the basketball and they're not getting it done, they can look to Derrick Rose and say, here, do something for us, please, save us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And he did.
Right.
He did in that
a few times.
And then having a point guard like that on the second unit seems to show me it's only 2-game sample, but it's unlocking Obi a little bit. And that's what I kind of said when we got Obi and we signed. We didn't have a point guard to play with Obi. Like, Obi can't create his own shot. When you got a good point guard with him to create with him, he's going to start to unlock. I can see him getting at least averaging over 10 points over the rest of the season with Rose with him, because I think Rose is going to make him a lot better, and he's going to make Quickly a lot better. I just think that whole second unit, man, it could be one of the top 5 second units in the league. Honestly, that second unit's going to be something good. It's going to be really good.
About Burks too.
Yeah, Burks in there can score. He didn't score last night, but he can score. Like, that second unit is going to get us a lot of games. And I think a playoff run, the way looking at the standings, 500 could get you a 6 seed in the East. Yeah. The East ain't that strong. Right. Like, we're all bunched up in one, all at the same record from 6 to 10. So if you get 500 or even a game or two above 500, you get the 6 seed. You might not even need to play in it.
Right. So, but this is what I wanted to say about Rose. His game has matured so much. I mean, his playmaking ability, his vision. The triangle probably doesn't lend itself to that anyway. But his playmaking ability and his vision is on display. His shooting, we're just a better team with us on the floor. And to Joe's point about Obi getting easy baskets. The pass he hit Randall underneath the basket, looking one way. He saw him all the way, and then shot that no-look pass with the left hand to Randall. He knows how to play. Like this stuff that for a lot of our guards they're struggling with, it's just coming naturally to him because he knows how to play the position.
I think also too, the fact is that, because he's had those major injuries, he's had to change his game and he can't play as reckless as he played in the past. So he's understanding that, hey, I'm 32 years old. My knees are probably 50. So, I mean, I've got to know how to play the game smart so I can make my career longer. Right.
And we just need Emmanuel Quickly. We just need Quickly to remember that, because he tried to throw Derrick Rose that alley-oop last night, and Derrick was like, I'm not going up and getting that, man.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
I seen him let it up. I was like, what is he doing? Now, if it was, back when Derrick Rose was 25, he would have caught it, and it would have been a nasty play. But, I seen Rose look at him. I mean, like, he didn't look at him mad, but he was like, yo, I'm not getting that. I'm not going up and getting that.
I'm going to do it the other way around. How about you? I throw it to you.
Right.
I don't think Quickly can go up and get them. I think Quickly's a bit too small for that.
Yeah. I mean, Quickly can dunk. He can dunk. So,
he can dunk that high alley-oop. I don't think he can
not that high. Not that high. He's not going up that high and getting it. But Quickly was just doing what, he naturally does. He usually finds Noel or Obi or Mitch coming along that side, and
He's learning.
He lets it up to him. You know what I mean? Another thing that we noticed in that second unit is that Quickly still has the ball in his hands. A lot of people were worried about Quickly and whether or not he's going to be able to have the ball in his hands, and he still has the ball in his hands a lot, able to make a play. But Derrick Rose is coaching him from a distance. Quickly had the ball in his hands, and he's not the only one. We've seen Julius Randle coach Quickly as well on the floor. I remember the one time against Portland when Quickly had the ball. Randall called for it, and Quickly was on the way over to move out the way so Randall can do his thing. He was like, no, come back. He called him back, gave him the basketball, and told him to isolate against Carmelo Anthony because you had the mismatch, and then Quickly hit the three, right? And you see Derrick Rose doing.
I think they're grooming him to be the starting point guard. Like, I don't think they might bring Rose back for another year and start like grooming, like kind of like CP3 done with Shea Alexander. Like, he's a combo guard, but he got better because of Chris Paul. Like, I'm not saying D Rose is going to be Chris Paul, but I think they're trying to groom Quickly into that starting point guard role.
Quickly's your future too. I don't know if he's a point guard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but. They're teaching him how to play basketball. Whether or not they're grooming him to be the starting point guard, they're just teaching him how to play basketball. Right. And you can see Derrick Rose when they're on the floor and Quickly has the ball in his hands from a distance, saying, do this, do that, teaching him how to play. Then when they go into a timeout, talking to him about different things on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll see where he ends up. But regardless, to have somebody on the floor with you, next to you, being able to walk you through certain things is just invaluable. It's just invaluable for a young player because you have this crutch now where you can go out and play, but if I need to, I can give the ball to this guy and he can go ahead and score and take some of the pressure off of what I have to do when I'm on the floor. Same thing for Obi. And that's what is making Derrick Rose so valuable in that second unit. And why the more and more I see them play, I just don't want Derrick Rose to go to the starting lineup, not because it's not good and he won't help the starting lineup, but because I really think he helps this second unit so much that it's making our team better. Way more better than if he's in the starting lineup.
But isn't Peyton a better passer than Rose is in a sense that Peyton could kind of?
No. I mean,
Okay.
because like if you watched Peyton last night, right? He's still dribble heavy. If you watch Rose, if Rose takes a lot of dribbles, he's going to score. Okay? Right, he's going to score when he takes a lot of dribbles. Peyton takes a lot of dribbles and then gets into the paint and is not sure where to go sometimes. Right, and he doesn't make it's just not a prudent decision. 2 or 3 times last night, he got in the paint. All he had to do was dip it out, a quick little pass, 2 dribbles and a quick little pass to Julius Randle, who was wide open. Instead, he went to make another decision. So no, I don't think he's not a better passer than Derrick Rose, and he definitely doesn't make the decisions as quick as Derrick Rose makes decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like, Derrick Rose makes.
That's for sure. We talked about the issue, how instinctual he is.
Yeah, quick, smart decisions.
Peyton's got better. I think the trade for Rose maybe kind of put a little bit of motivation into Peyton, because Peyton seemed to be playing a lot better the last couple of games.
I'm
thinking maybe Rose thing kind of maybe.
He's all right, man. He's all right.
Well, I mean, even before Rose came, he was playing better, and maybe he heard about it. I don't know, but. He's been, the last four games, he had 22 points, 20 points, 8 points, and then 12 points last night or whatever it was. So he's played better. And I kind of thought a few games back, I was like, I think Peyton's due to have some good games going in a row, and so far, he's had them, and done well. It's just some of those quick decision-making, where he's just got to get the ball out of his hands faster. Right. Pass it quicker. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And make a quick decision as to what he wants to do when he's out there on the floor. But even given that, I think Rose's he benefits the second unit way more than he benefits the first unit. And in the second unit, I think
for you.
he just gets them together, keeps them together. It's going to help Obi. It's going to help Quickly, and I think now that second unit becomes way more productive. And then down the stretch, you can have Rose out there on the floor.
Right.
Rose is definitely going to be back here next year. It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rose is definitely back here next year.
Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
Are you worried at all about Quickly's shot selection sometimes? Because I feel like he should shoot more inside the paint. And I feel like he tries to be like Steph Curry and tries to shoot like these 30-foot three-pointers. And sometimes he makes them, sometimes he doesn't. But I mean, I'd like to see him play more inside, like the floater. I think he's got a good little floater. Maybe work a little mid range. He's got a quick little step. I think he put one of those players on skates. I think it was Ish or something. He put Ish on skates on a move he did. I'm not trying to be too nitpicky, but I just feel like he takes a lot of threes, and I really like to see him play more inside.
He takes a lot of floaters. So too many floaters, I think.
Too many floaters, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think he can
But I'd
benefit
rather him
from
take a floater than a 30-foot three.
I think he can benefit from a pull-up, right? Definitely benefit from a pull-up, but, he's young, and it comes with seasoning. What we're seeing from Derrick Rose is seasoning, right? He's been around for a while, so he gets it and he understands it. And that's what we got to get from quickly. We got to just wait for that seasoning to come. You know what I mean? And there's really not much you can do about it, but wait. But wait and wait for him to get the game experience and to play, and he'll get that seasoning and learn just different little nuances of the game that's going to help him become a better, a better player all around. So I mean, sometimes I look at it and I'm like, yo, why did he pull that shot? But I get it. He's 21 years old and he's got to understand the game and when to take shots and all of that kind of stuff out there. But that's what.
I think it's. Oh, go ahead.
I was just about to say that same thing to to kind of tell Nate. I don't know if you remember. I think it was like third quarter. They called a technical foul on Scotty Brooks and quickly shot. He shot it just to get a free shot, and he shot it from like 35 feet, and it hit bottom of the net. So again, like Simmons said before, Tom Thibodeau trusts that kid. And again, we have the type of coach where, again, if he don't want you to do that, you're not going to do that. So again, him shooting threes like that, Tom Thibodeau has given him a green light that is as bright as the sun. So,
not just that, that's his range.
That's his range. Yeah,
so
he can shoot that.
Right. Are we talking about how far the shot is, or are we talking about the timing of the shot? Because, we can argue the timing of the shot, but that range, that's his range. He practices from that range.
Sometimes he just likes to take those shots up. Yeah.
And he'll learn that with time and with D-Rose and just learning the flow of the offense in the NBA. He'll learn when is it a time to take, okay, we up 7 or 10. I can take this heat check shot. We down 7 or 10. No, this ain't the time that I take a 35-footer. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, again, he'll learn that with maturation. And, you know what I'm saying? It'll come.
What's he shooting at? What's he shooting the three at right now? Do you know, Sam?
36%,
yeah, like 30,
30,
yeah.
30,
That's not bad.
That's about NBA average, right? I think, right?
Yeah, 39 from the field.
Oh, that's not good.
No, but it's a shot selection, and he'll get better at that. Like, he's going to be good. I have no worries about him. He's the worth ethic, but it's just his shot selection. And I think that's going to get better with Rose, because with that second unit, he was the only one really. He was taking too many shots. Now with Rose, I think the shot selection is going to get better, and the amount of shots he's going to take is going to go down.
Rose is a guy who's not going to be passive. When he's going to dictate who he gets the ball to, and he's going to try to find those open players. And if you're hot, he'll get you the ball. If you're not, then he's going to get somebody else a chance. I mean, he's going to control the pace of that second team. He's not going to just. He's not just going to get, okay, here's the ball. Just go for it.
All we need to do now is just get another guy in Rose's caliber and put him for the starting lineup, and we're good to go.
Yeah, that's not easy to do.
Yeah,
that's not easy to do. We're not just pulling the guy out. Anyway, that's not easy to do.
If it was easy to do, it would have been done already. We've been waiting like 4 years now since Rose to be a good point, to get a good point.
2 draft picks. Yeah. 2 draft picks this year. We'll figure it out.
Maybe 2 draft picks, depending on what happens at the trade deadline. That's all I'm gonna say. Depending on what happens at the trade deadline. That's all I'm gonna say. Maybe 2 draft picks. Depending on what happens.
I'm looking at them picks too. I'm like, the Mavs are on a 4-game winning streak. We're starting to pick up. Them picks might be late lottery, mid first. They might not be high.
It's going to be a deep draft, man. There's a lot of good talent in this draft.
It is. But are they going to be able to come in and start for us next year? I doubt it.
Yeah.
They're going to need to develop.
Joe, I tried to find Luka Doncic and I couldn't find his house. So I couldn't kidnap him.
Kev, that's your only job.
You had one
That's your
job,
only
Kev.
job was to find Luka, man.
He had 46 last
Come
night,
on,
Kevin. You
Kev.
failed.
I
Yeah.
knew we should have paid Nate. I knew we should have paid Nate.
I gave up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So
I'll go find him.
Kev, what you need to do is you need to tamper with KP and Luca's COVID test and let them positive and get them out of here.
And Kev, I told you, you can't go searching wearing that Steelers mask and Steelers hat because it's gonna
Especially in
identify
Dallas.
you. Now people are gonna
see
know
you.
who you are.
hey, I was camouflaged, so there you go. It was in the dark.
And for those who don't know, we sent Kev. Kev is joining us from Dallas right now. We sent him to Dallas to find Luka, kidnap him. All right, you know, so that we can make sure that Dallas has the worst season possible. You know, we're gonna feed Luka. You know, we're gonna make sure he's sleeping in a nice bed. We're gonna, you know, we'll lay it out for him, but we're just not gonna let him free until Dallas is terrible.
Yeah,
You know, Kev, just forget Luka. Go get KP.
Get KP.
Go get KP, man. Luka can score his 50 points, but without KP, they ain't going anywhere. So go get KP.
Without Luka, they ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. KP is a non-factor anyway.
Yeah,
KP had 33 points last night.
But
He's still a non-factor. He's not the reason why they're going or not going.
no. It's Luka and Tim Hardaway.
What I'm saying is without
Hold on,
him,
one
Luka
at a
doesn't do
time.
everything.
One at a time. Go ahead, Nate.
No, all I'm saying is without Luka's a good player. Luka can put up 30 to 40 a night. But the thing is that you need a guy like KP to pair with him. And without KP, who's going to step up with Luka? I mean, Hardaway.
Tim Hardaway has been hot.
I hear what you're saying, but even when KP is there, he's like, I mean, he had a good game last night, but all he does is stand outside and shoot 3-point shots.
3-point shooter. No, I agree.
But I don't think he's the answer. They need to move him and get somebody that pairs better with.
Who's gonna take that contract?
And those broken knees. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, nobody.
They're gonna have to give up picks to get rid of him.
Yeah. Probably.
They traded a lot for him. I doubt they get rid of him.
You know, back to the numbers behind today's game. The Rockets, they average 109.2 points per game. The Knicks are averaging 102.7. Listen, the Wizards came in last night. Obviously, they didn't have Bradley Beal, but they came in last night averaging 116 points per game, and the Knicks held them to, you know, below 100 points.
90 points.
I would love to hold the Rockets to below 100 points as well. You know, the Knicks, they should be able to out-rebound the Houston Rockets, especially with Christian Wood out. You know, he was one of their top rebounders. They do have Boogie Cousins that can rebound the basketball. He's leading them with 7.5 rebounds per game. The Knicks. Now, the Rockets, they average 23 assists per game. And still, you know, it's hard to even say, you know, with, you know, they have, you know, Victor Oladipo is their leading scorer. Now it's going to be John Wall. Victor Oladipo was their leading assist getter as well. So, you know, it's hard to say what to expect from this team coming into today because they've been so up and down all season long. And it's amazing that they're still within the near shot of, you know, making the playoffs, even though they've been having guys in and out and all over the place all season long. They're still within the near shot. And up until they suffered these injuries to Christian Wood and Victor Oladipo, they had started playing well. But they averaged 23 assists per game, 7.9 steals. The Knicks are at 6.8. They average 5.7 blocks per game. The Knicks average about 5. Might be less tonight with Mitch being out. They average 14.6 turnovers. The Knicks are at 13. We both shoot about 45% from the field, 35% from three. We're both about 75% from the free throw line. So these are two teams that are pretty much even. We both average 47 points in the paint. The Knicks average 14 second chance points. Houston Rockets are 11.4. The Knicks average 7 fast break points, and the Rockets are at 11.8. So these teams are, you know, they're pretty much evenly matched. You know what I'm saying? They are pretty much evenly matched. And I think it's just going to be one of those battles, and we're going to have to dig down deep to try to pull this one out. It's not going to be easy at all. Kev, talk to me, man. How you feeling about today's game?
Oh, I think we got a good chance to win. I think that it's going to be pivotal to see what Noel and Taj do against Cousins. That's really the matchup I'm looking at. I think between John Wall and going up against Alfred and Rose, that's going to be another good matchup that I want to see. So I think we got a good chance to win this, and we'll see what happens. I'm about to board the plane, y'all, so I will talk to y'all later on tonight after the game.
Be safe, Kev. Be safe, Kev.
Be safe travels, brother.
All right. Take care.
All righty.
Yeah, the game starts at 8 o'clock. Hopefully, Kev is home in time to be able to see the game later on tonight. Looking at the standings, the Knicks are ninth. They're ninth right now in the Eastern Conference. They're 12-15. They're half a game behind Toronto. If they win tonight, I don't think Toronto plays tonight. So if the Knicks win, they'll be 13-15. Because they have more wins than Toronto, they'll move up into that 7th spot. Let's see who else is playing today. If any, the Hawks play. They play the Pacers. Miami. They play the Utah Jazz. So if the Knicks are able to win, and a couple of these teams take some losses, the Knicks can improve themselves in the standings. So in these games, all of these games, this is the one thing that I like about what's happening with the Knicks right now, is that all of these games are vitally important. Like, they can almost not afford to lose a game, because losing a game can drop you down three spots in the standings. You know what I'm saying? Which to me is going to do well, because that's going to keep them on edge for most of this season. Right? It's going to keep them on edge. All of those teams that are bunched up, it's going to keep you on edge and make sure that your focus is high. Right? For this season. So I think that is a definitely, I think it's a positive. It's scary, right? Because it puts a lot of pressure on the team, puts a lot of pressure on coaching, puts a lot of pressure on players. But I think it's good. I think overall it's good for the team. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a pressure-packed season for the Knicks. And Nate, coming to you. Go ahead, jump in there.
Hey, got some breaking news. Shams just reported Mitch is having surgery, out 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks. That's longer than initially expected. So that takes you through. If you're 4 weeks from now is March 13th. That takes us through the All-Star break. And then if you're talking 6 weeks, that takes us until April. I mean, that's a good portion of this season.
Yeah. And he's got to get back in shape and all that.
I was going to say that.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Because are you sure, Nate? Because I'm on Sham's page.
That's what it says.
That's what it says. It's on Bleacher Report. Okay.
Yeah, Bleacher Report.
It was Woj dropped that. I thought it was Woj. A lot of people said.
Okay, because I'm on Sham's page right now, and I didn't see it on.
Yeah, it just popped up on my.
It's Woj played.
Okay, Woj. Okay, maybe
it's Woj. Yeah. Come on, Nate. Come on, Nate. You can't
break it right. Break it right.
You gotta break it right, man.
You done blew up the wrong place, man. You dropped the bomb and you done blew up the wrong place.
I swear I thought it said Shams, but whatever.
Yeah, you gotta have it right, man.
Take Nate's finger off the button. We got to take Nate's finger off the button.
Whatever, Prince.
Yeah. 4 to 6 weeks. All right, so Steph, let me ask you, what do we do? 4 to 6 weeks. Mitch is going to be out a month to a month and a half.
Honestly?
Do we stick with what we have, or do you think we...
Nah, I'm looking to give up another second-round pick for somebody. Like, I would call Dallas and see if Willie Cauley-Stein is available. Somebody that could we don't need nobody over the top. Just somebody that can defend the position and rebound for us. If not, I have concerns about Noel manning that spot for long minutes at a time, especially if it's somebody who's really thick and powerful. Can he hold his own down there? Can he not get into foul trouble? How many minutes are we going to get out of Taj? Taj gives us what he gives us because he's fresh.
Mm-hmm.
He's either playing 10, 15 minutes a game, or he's going stretches of games where he's not playing. So when he comes in, he's fresh. Can we go 24 minutes with Taj every game? 24 minutes with Noel every game? Now, we can move, we can go small ball. We can move Randall over. Now we playing Obi more, right? Is he up for that? Now we got to bring maybe Knox back in. Is he up for that? I think we're taking a big hit with Mitch being out 4 to 6 weeks. And if you look at the schedule, I don't have it in front of us, the standings. We only one game in the win column behind Boston, who's the 4th seed?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really bunched up. You lose 2, 3, 4 games, you go lose 4 out of 5, you might be down there with Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is something for us to really, for the front office, and I'm sure they're considering it as well. Things are so tight, losing Mitch for that long could take us out of playoff contention. I hope I'm not being dramatic, but that's how close things are, and that's how important Mitch has been for us. So I do think we need to make a small move with somebody who could man that position. I'm not talking about a first-round pick. I'm not talking about anything, but just somebody who can give us some minutes in that position.
That's the tough thing. Who's out there for us to go
I
get?
I know.
Boogie Cousins.
But why are they gonna move? I don't think they're moving Cousins, man. Why would they move him?
True. But Sim, you throw a pick, like Queen Steph said, you throw a couple second rounds, maybe Houston, and maybe he like, hey, I want to go back and hang with Kenny Payne. You know what I'm saying? I want to play with Kenny Payne.
Prince, maybe it's the Oladipo Boogie.
And I was saying that.
Maybe we got to pull the trigger on that now.
Oh, right. God, no.
And so here you go, ladies and gentlemen, from Woj, ESPN sources. Knicks center Mitchell Robinson will undergo surgery on his fractured right hand and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Robinson suffered a fracture of the 4th metacarpal on the hand on Friday versus Washington. So there you have it. Mitchell Robinson out 4 to 6 weeks. And so if he's going to be out, we got to rely on Nerlens Noel. We got to rely on Taj Gibson, older Taj Gibson. And then we got to rely on Julius Randle being that third center when they play a small lineup. So if we're looking at going out and making a move, if we're not going to just stick still for this month and a half, and we're going to try to add a third center, who is out there? I know, Prince, you said DeMarcus Cousins. I don't think.
Whiteside. Somebody in the chat said Whiteside.
I like Whiteside. He will shoot the ball. He can pass. I like Whiteside.
Block shots.
Yeah, he block shots. I like Whiteside.
And he's not playing minutes. He's not playing really for them.
I mean, the Knicks have a bevy of second-round picks, so they could use those second-round picks to go pick up a guy, try to get him here for insurance reasons. Tough break for Mitchell Robinson because last night he was having his best game of the season. He was on his way to scoring 20 points and having, 25 rebounds. He was on his way to having one of the best games of his career. Then he suffers a fractured right hand, and he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Mitchell Robinson is. Caller, you live, man. What's popping?
Yo, Sam, what's going on? Is AK?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I'm all right, and so?
I'm feeling good. I'm a little bit down because of Mitch, but I feel good though.
Yeah, I feel you. Yo, quick note because I'm on lunch break right now. I'm about to go back in the job, but we gotta go get Collins. Go get Collins.
John Collins
from Atlanta. Yep, and do that right now. And I think the Knicks gonna win tonight by 5. Yo, peace to the chat. Yo, Sim, love your show.
Appreciate you, brother. Peace. What do you guys think about John Collins?
Is he a boss?
Yeah, he's a tweener forward. He's a tweener forward. He's a tweener.
But he can score. He can score.
But he can score. He jumps out the gym. He's like the guy we was just talking about earlier, Kenny Wooten, but with a more offensive game,
right?
And a little bit more stature to him than Wooten. So again, I wouldn't mind him. He's small though, but
he's a young guy too.
Yeah, he's gonna cost the first though. You're gonna have to give up a first.
You're gonna have to give up a first.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to what about JaVale McGee?
I don't know.
No.
Why not? We don't need him to do that much.
Guy's a goofball. I don't know anything.
A goofball.
He has. Do you know how many rings JaVale McGee has, bro?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I think he got like 2 or 3 rings, like from.
Mitch is the goofball. And that's just off the court.
I don't like his game. I mean, he's long, but I don't know what you're really.
Yeah, we don't really. What do you mean?
Hey,
he's going to rebound and block shots.
Play for years.
Nate, with Tom Thibodeau, bro, all of that foolishness stops. You're not gonna get out there and be doing Shaq in the fool moments with Thibodeau. We see Julius Randle is not the what my boy Julito called him the Tasmanian devil. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, a lot of that stuff is stopped. So
right.
So
I don't want to go McGee.
When you bring in some of these guys who may have as they call it, colored backgrounds. I believe those guys come into this organization now. We're not the laughing stock of New York anymore. Now we are a team that's coming up. So you got players and you got a staff that will keep guys in somewhat of a straight and narrow too.
Yeah, keep them in check.
Yeah. And all we need him to do is rebound and block shots. We don't need him to do much. Rebound, block shots for 20 minutes a game. We don't even need you for the whole 30-something minutes.
I'd rather have Whiteside than McGee.
I would rather have Whiteside too, but
yeah, I mean,
either one.
I do think now, knowing that he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, and then he's going to have to come back and get in shape.
Yeah.
The Knicks might be looking to say, hey, we got to make a move. Not anything major, but at least a third center to have just in case Taj Gibson or Noel go out. So you don't always have to rely on Julius Randle playing that third center spot or playing a small ball center spot, because you're already asking a lot from Julius Randle. You're asking him to be our leading scorer. Now you're going to be asking him to be, well, he's already our leading rebounder, but you're going to be asking him to rebound even more. Right? So you're asking a lot from Julius Randle. Yet now, 38, 40 minutes a game? That's not going to get it. That's not going to get it if you need to have this guy ready, if you're looking at making a playoff push and you want to have him available. Now, he's been durable, but besides the first year in his career, he's been durable, but you don't want to burn him out. So I think it would be imperative to go get a third center from someplace, just in case one of Noel or Taj goes down. I think he got to now.
Is there anybody in Westchester?
Yeah, we do. We got a couple cats down there, but free Bucci Mane down there in Orlando. Free Bucci Mane.
Ah, man, I mean. See, we're talking about. You got some people talking about players that is going to come in and is going to be your starter, right? And then when Mitch comes back, you're like, oh, what are we going to do? I'm talking about bringing in a guy that is just a third insurance guy. You know what I'm saying? You let Noel, you let Taj do what they do, and then when Mitch comes back, he reclaims his spot. That's what I'm talking about doing.
Right.
Unless something falls in your lap, but I don't see that happening.
You guys a question? Mommy Steph, she said something that was go after Willie Cauley-Stein. I liked him. He got the tattoos on his face. He's a New York dude. Right? We like him. He got the tattoos on his face.
But I think he's in their rotation, though. So he may be hard to get.
Right. Somebody said JaVale McGee is on the trading block as well, or?
I mean, Cleveland,
his name just came up.
His name came up. Cleveland got a lot of guys. They got a lot of centers over there or something, big men. So,
right. The argument you have with Anthony Dunbar and Gramo, that other day on Gramo's show, I was thinking about it. I was like, well, But then it was a question for debate, because if Cleveland was to waive or buy out Andre Drummond, I doubt they would do it. But somebody like that as well, or no?
He would call. Well, if they buy him out, I don't think he would pick us.
I would inquire and see what.
What about
what
Tyson Chandler? I see somebody in the chat said Tyson Chandler. Who
he's
is
still
this?
in the NBA?
Sarub Malik. He said Tyson Chandler. I don't know if is he playing?
I don't think
Phoenix.
so.
I don't think so. I think
he was on Houston last year.
I think you can pick up Tyson Chandler. I'm not sure if Tyson Chandler is playing right now. He might be a free agent.
He got to be about 45. How old is Tyson Chandler?
Tell me about it.
Why not just go to Westchester and get somebody that you can bring up right now to be the third guy, and then once Mitch comes back, he goes back down. I mean, that's why you have these affiliates.
But we need somebody that's going to be able to play and give us minutes. Is anybody down in the G League going to be able to give us minutes?
I believe Justin Patton would be I would believe the guy. He started.
That'd be the first place I'd look, and then
he's starting at center for us. He's a 7-footer. He was drafted by Chicago, like I said, and they traded him over to Minnesota. So he's a Thibodeau guy. He's a guy who can open up our offense. He can shoot. He can pass. He's not as big of a rim protector as Mitch, but he does alter and block shots. So again, I think Justin Patton would be the guy if Tom Thibodeau feels that he needs somebody. But much like we discussed last night, you know, Tom Thibodeau is an old ornery dude. He's not going to change nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like Taj would have to get hurt or Noel would have to get hurt before he would genuinely bring somebody new in. I don't think he's not bringing nobody new in that he has to teach the nuances, the terminology. Tom ain't got time for that crap. So if it's not somebody who knows his system or is in the system, we can forget about it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and Justin Patton is practicing with Westchester, so they're running through, you know, what Tom Thibodeau likes. He could definitely be a name that you see get pulled up if you know somebody gets hurt, and then you don't have to go out and really do a search because he's right there.
Exactly.
You could just say, hey, we're gonna pull you up, you know, give you a 10-day contract or whatever it is that they might need to do. I still think that they might look out there in free agency or trade or whatever. I, for one, would not mind having a Mo Bamba. I see some people in the chat talk about Mo Bamba. I wouldn't mind Mo Bamba. I've always liked him. You know what I mean? And what he can do, he can shoot the three. He can handle the ball a little bit from out there. He's long. He can still block shots.
He's a New York guy, too.
He's a New York guy. Sorry. I wouldn't mind having him at all. You know, we will see what happens with. We will see what happens when it comes to it. But you could be right, Prince. Patton could be a very good. He might be a very good option. You know, to bring up because and he's also young.
He had his affiliates.
Yeah, he's young and he would fit because again, then you say, okay, we snatch Iggy or trade Jaron Harper or one of those guys where you can get that two-way contract back. Then you give it to not Scal, but you give it to Justin Patton and let him bounce up and down where he can practice with Mitch, get beat up by Taj all season long. But then next year, now you can decide, do I want to keep New Orleans or do I just want to use Justin Patton as a backup, Mitch start? Or if we lose Mitch, now you got a guy who can plug and play until we get a starting center. So I think Justin Patton.
Right. And if we do that, I think we need to do it now. I don't think you can wait.
Some people in the chat are talking about Justin Patton can't play NBA minutes. I'm like, I don't see how you say he played for Philly last year. He dropped 45 in the G League. He had 45, 16, and like 8 in the game in the G League. So this is a guy who can score the ball and play. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. He had an issue, but again, just getting in shape. Yeah, we know Tom Thibodeau is going to want him in tip-top shape. So if that's what you're talking about, understood. But can he play on the NBA court? Justin Patton can play on the NBA.
And we're not looking for a guy to come in to be the starter. We're looking for a guy to come in to be the third-string center, that can possibly
backup center.
You know, give Tyson Chandler, give Nerlens Noel or Taj Gibson a blow, or if they get hurt. We will see what happens. Ishmael Rivas also mentioned this might be time to get a blast from the past. How about Kyle O'Quinn?
I like O'Quinn.
I mean, Kyle O'Quinn, you know, he's 6'10".
He's playing internationally, though.
Is he?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I thought he played for the Pacers.
No, he hasn't played for the Pacers in a little while.
Yeah, they bounced him 2 years ago,
He
last year.
Or
recently
Sixers.
signed-
Sixers. I'm sorry. He was a Sixers last year. Yeah.
Yeah. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Hello, Sims. Hello, family there.
Yeah, how you doing? Glad you called in.
Thank you. Doing good. Getting ready for the Houston game tonight. I think we're going to take it, especially with Oladipo out there. Victor, we'll take that. 2 points. Well, 3 points. 3 quick points. When before the Knicks had looked to sign Taj, the Knicks were looking at Tyson. By the way, I know he's like 45, but I think he can fill that role of the interior defense. He still can't shoot. We know that, but man is of high character. He's a Knick, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, he's like 38. He's 38. I mean, is he retired or is he still a free agent?
He's a free agent, as far as I know, because it came down to him and Taj.
Right.
And Tibbs obviously went for his guy Taj, right? Which obviously was the right move. Taj is doing work. Speaking of Tibbs' guy, what a blessing to have D Rose back with the family. That guy has grown up. He is embracing his new role, and he's gonna do well here with New York. I love it.
Nah,
So,
I'm with you. I agree. I think he's gonna do well. What'd you say?
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm saying I'm feeling great about that move, with more good things to come.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see, you know, just the way things progress further because I think it's gonna work out well. But hey, my man, I appreciate the call.
Okay. Hey, one more thing, Sims.
Uh-huh.
Just curious because I know there's that Knicks fan TV out there, but I always go to you guys because you guys feel more like family. But do you know CP? Do you guys ever get it together?
We've spoke a few times. We've never, you know, we haven't done much work together, but we spoke and you know, we speak through DM and stuff like that every once in a while.
All right. I appreciate your game. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, we are paying another center right now. You know
James?
that, right? Huh? No. We're paying Joakim Noah $6 million.
Oh God.
And he is a Tibbs guy. You can say, hey,
Bring back the whole
Joe,
Bulls team.
get in shape. Let's go. Let's do it. You know, I know he might be out running in the Amazon or something like that. You know, some of those things that Joakim Noah does.
Pulling
Running
his
in the
pants down,
Amazon. You know, yeah, doing some things like that. Hey, you can call Joe and say, hey, we need another center. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get the band back together. That's what Jimmy Butler said. He's getting the band back together. Nah.
We got Luau Deng. His name Kevin Knox. We don't need Luau.
Oh.
We don't need Luau Deng. His name Kevin Knox. We all right.
Right. Let me
Lakers are
get
still
to
playing Luol Deng.
Let me get to another phone call. Yeah, they are. Call you live. What's popping?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Pretty good.
I was just like, hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, hey, how's it going, guys? I'm a long-time fan of the show.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
I just wanted to add in, like, I know Mitch is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, but I really don't think that they're going to go after a center. They're not going to sign anyone. They're going to just play Randall, small ball 5. They're going to have Noel playing minutes. If Taj is too tired to play, he's just going to, he's just not going to play. Like, that's what's going to happen. Obi hopefully gets the minutes. Like, I don't want to see something happen where, like, Randall's just getting burnt down and Obi's not getting the minutes that he needs at power forward. But now's the time, now is the chance for Obi to shine. Like, I kind of don't want them to go out and get someone. So let's see what happens.
Right. Now, and we're not talking about going out and getting somebody to, take any minutes from Obi or Randall, playing that spot. I think that's what they'll do. But what happens if Noel or Taj Gibson gets hurt? Now you're going to really be depending on Randall to play, like a lot of minutes, and it puts a lot of pressure on him and the team. So that's why I think having a backup, an insurance policy is good.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean, Nerlens is Butterfingers, and he can't do anything offensively. He can't catch the ball. Like, Tosh is the only one outside of Mitch who can actually catch the ball and, score once in a while. But let's see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see. I know Tibbs is going to play these guys hard no matter what. Injuries don't matter to him. Next man up mentality. And, I like that. But we'll see. I don't think they should have gotten rid of that Amari Spellman guy in the beginning of the season. I don't know why they did. He was going to ride the bench anyways until they needed him. So they did have somebody, but they
got rid of him and they signed Taj Gibson.
Right.
Because he wasn't in shape and this and that, and Taj is ready to play. So there's some guys out there. I wouldn't put it past the Knicks to use one of them second-round draft picks to make a move on somebody and then waive someone like Austin Rivers, right? Because now Austin Rivers is kind of the odd man out. You can waive Austin Rivers, and let him go sign wherever and then, bring in one of these guys. So we'll see what happens. Appreciate the call, man.
For sure. No problem. Thank you, guys.
Later. Big shout out to Knicks Nation. Thank you for the super chat. He said Taco Fall would be a great addition.
I love Taco Fall.
I'd rather Mo Bamba. I'd rather go get Mo Bamba than Taco Fall. I'd rather Mo Bamba than Taco Fall.
Is huge.
Yeah, rather that. So,
hey, Sim.
Yeah.
What about that guy from Toronto? Is he out? You think the Boucher guy?
They're not going to trade him.
They are not trading him.
He came up through that G League the last 2 years, and they found a diamond in the rough in that kid. They're not letting him go. He's going to be a piece for them for the future.
Of course, no doubt.
Yeah, they waived Alex Lynn, so Boucher gets more minutes.
To play more, yeah. Now, Alex Lynn, did anybody pick him up yet?
Yeah, he was a Washington. He played last night.
Oh, yeah, he did play last night. And RJ almost tried to kill him. He tried to kill him.
Yeah, so.
Well, I don't know. Andre Drummond to me is because you heard, was it Woj come out and said that he talked to GMs around the league, and they reckon that Andre Drummond could either get bought out or possibly a second round pick or two would get that deal done.
Cleveland said they're not going to buy him out.
Hold up. A second round pick or two can get you Andre Drummond?
That's what they're saying. Yeah, because he's a big man. He doesn't stretch the floor, and teams that contract too is putting teams off. So they reckon
it's an expiring contract.
It's an expiring contract. It's an expiring contract.
But no one has the money to take it on. No one's going to trade away got money to take that on. That's what Woj was saying. So I don't know. We have the money, and we have. He's making 25. I think he's making 28. He's making 28.5. I would look into.
You're gonna have to trade for Drummond. He's not gonna get bought out.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can get two second round picks to get that done, and maybe Rivers or somebody, because you're gonna have to make the money match up. Drummond to me is interesting because a big man like him would thrive in this team, a team that doesn't shoot the ball well. So second chance points.
I get it.
I don't think they're going to do it.
I don't think that 2 second round picks is going to work for Andre Drummond. That's just my opinion.
Well, look at what Detroit traded him for. Was a John Henson on a second. Like Detroit,
they were trying to get rid of him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Cleveland's thinking the same thing because they got Jared Allen, and Jared Allen's going to be their future. So they're looking to try and get him more minutes. Only reason Drummond's playing is the only reason to have Drummond playing a lot of minutes is to boost the trade value. They want to move Drummond. They're thinking about even buying him out if they can't trade. If they can't find
the Knicks, I would inquire about what the offer would be for him.
So would I.
Okay.
Because I was even thinking about signing him in free agency because he's a New York dude who got Mount Vernon, and we're a team that doesn't shoot the ball well, so he can get you 20 and 20 easy when we don't shoot well.
But that changes everything. That changes the offense for Randall. Randall now has to definitely stay more to the outside unless they stagger their minutes. It kind of changes things.
Yeah,
but it's the same thing as Mitch, though, because Mitch doesn't space the floor either. So
but it changes things because also Drummond is going to get his touch. I'm not opposed to adding Drummond. If he gets bought out, and then you bring him in, I'm definitely not opposed. I mean, that'd be crazy to be opposed to adding Drummond. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that, he's going to be right now because Mitch is out. I don't think it's going to be an option. And I think it's probably smarter at this point to just go ahead and get someone who's going to be an insurance policy and let guys that's been here that knows what's happening, knows what you're running, let them guys do it. Now, if he were to get bought out or something like that, then of course that's a no-brainer, I think. And if he was willing to come to you, that's a no-brainer.
You'd have to pay him handsome, like give him like a 3-year deal at like $15 million for him to come, because I think what he'll do if he gets bought out, he'll take a vet minimum to go to contender, win a chip, and then sign a contract in the offseason.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's going to do. If I'm the Knicks, I'm not doing anything like that. I would just, if he were to get bought out, I would just say, hey, we'll sign you. He's going to get his $28.5 million anyway, and then you could do whatever you're going to do in the offseason. But that's the reason why he would probably go to a contender. So, I'm not even thinking about it. The only way, see, with me, when I talked about Drummond a couple shows ago, it was if we get a wing defender, a wing scorer, right, that pushes us up in the standings, and then Drummond is somehow bought out, then I think you definitely go and do it. Right now, I think it's, I think we just try to get an insurance policy, and still look at that wing player, because I think that's the first thing that you got to do.
Yeah, so the thing about trading for Drummond too is if you trade for Drummond and work out that he's going to stay, Mitch should get ticked off because that's his starting job gone.
Oh, we trade Mitch. He's out of here.
I don't think that Drummond is going to be in play. I think it's going to be more of an insurance policy guy, a Tyson Chandler, or whoever. One of those type of guys. Or if you go get a young guy like a Mo Bamba, I will not be opposed to that at all. I really do kind of like.
You could get him on the cheap too, because he's only averaging 10 minutes a game now with the Magic.
Wow, yeah, I mean, Mo Bamba is a guy that I would like to bring to the Knicks. He's got length. He can shoot the ball from the outside. He can handle it a little bit. He can block some shots.
Yeah, and it's a high risk, high.
But if he's not playing for that coach who is also under the Jeff Van Gundy tree, right? Who's coaching him? Is that Clifford?
Yeah,
who's over there coaching Orlando?
Yeah, Steve Clifford.
Then he's not playing for a reason. So the same thing he's not seeing is probably the same thing.
That could be true.
Vucevic is ahead. Vucevic is the starting center.
Okay.
You
got
minutes.
Right, you got Vucevic there. So we'll see what they decide to do to bring in.
I don't think they're going to do anything. I think Randall's going to play a lot more small ball.
I think you have to.
Which
I think you gotta have an insurance policy, man, because Noel's been in and out. Noel has been in and out all season long. He's been in and out of the lineup because of injuries, little injuries here and there. And then Taj Gibson is 37 years old or whatever it is. I think you've got to have an insurance policy out there.
Just bring up somebody from Westchester. It's not hard. I mean, it's an easy move. You bring him in as your third center, and then once Mitch comes back, the guy goes back down. I mean, that's why we have these affiliates. That's why we have the G League for these situations.
I don't know if it's for these situations, to be honest with you. The only problem I feel about having a guy from the G League, i.e. Patton, and a Mo Bamba, is that if Nerlens Noel or Taj Gibson go down, these guys are going to be getting major minutes. And are they going to contribute the way that Tom Thibodeau needs them to contribute if they're getting those major minutes? That's the only thing I worry about, because these are still developmental guys too. So listen, whatever.
But you'd rather have somebody who knows the system than somebody who doesn't know the system.
I'd rather have somebody who can play ball, even if they don't know the system. I'll be honest with you. They can learn the system. We need somebody that can ball.
It's
you know what I mean? Because you can know the system all you want. You can know the system backwards, forwards, however it is. But if you can't ball, you just can't ball. You got to have somebody that can hoop. They can learn the system. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll see. We'll see what they decide to do. That's going to be, it's going to be interesting. And I don't think they're going to rush into making a move. right? They're gonna, let these guys play, and then see what's out there, survey the field, and then make a move from there, I guess.
Right.
As an insurance policy, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
The reason why I look at Mo Bamba is because he's young and he has a lot of talent. He has a lot of ability. He's a guy that can grow and develop, and he can be, he could be a piece that's for the future as well.
Yeah.
And he can be a stretch. He can be a stretch 5 at some point, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, Chop.
But then that might mean he might take Mitch's spot when Mitch comes back.
Well, if he does, he does.
Win.
Best player win, yeah. And if he can stretch the floor, that makes a lot better for us.
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what happens from there. We know that they're not getting anybody tonight. You know what I'm saying? Tonight you'll be seeing Nerlens Noel starting at that center spot, backed up by Taj Gibson, and you'll probably see some small ball 5 from Julius Randle with Obi Toppin, and Kevin Knox will probably be on the floor.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that. That's another thing with Mo Bamba too. Because he can stretch the floor a little bit, he can play with Julius Randle. Julius Randle can still play that small ball 5, while Mo Bamba is kind of at that 4 position if you needed him to. There's a lot of things that you can do with Mo Bamba, moving him around the floor. Young guy that's in development. But we'll see what they decide to do as far as that center position. Mitchell Robinson, again, if you're just joining us, is out 4 to 6 weeks. According to Woj, Knicks center Mitchell Robinson will undergo surgery on his fractured right hand and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Robinson suffered a fracture of the 4th metacarpal on the hand on Friday night versus the Washington Wizards. And, if you just missed the discussion, rewind it a little bit. So we, had a good discussion about who the Knicks should look to be an insurance policy, just in case Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson, they get injured, because Noel's been in and out of the lineup this season, and Taj Gibson's like 37 years old. They may need an insurance policy from somewhere, somebody to come in and just be there just in case one of those guys go down. So we'll see. But before we get out of here, Prince, I'll start with you. Your predictions on tonight's game and any last words?
Let's get them lights up, man. The Podfather is here, man. Like I said, that's the best thing, on pay-per-view, man. But it's free, so all you gotta do, NBK etiquette, man. Wash your hands, pound that like button, and represent and let everybody in the chat know that you're here, and you're gonna get love. But speaking to the game, I definitely look forward to this Knicks handling business. It would be dope to get back to a back-to-back win. I don't know if we've had one. I think we had a couple back-to-back. So it would be good to have a back-to-back win. Much like we said, we are in a stretch right now in a part of the season that we can't drop games that we, regardless of if we should lose them or shouldn't lose them, we can't lose. So with that being said, I look forward to the team playing hard, getting back to our brand of basketball. I see the continuity amongst each other. Derrick Rose is truly stepping up to be our leader. I'm loving that. Look forward to that. So again, look forward to Houston going home sad tonight, or staying home sad tonight, and us coming back and getting ready for Orlando. But that's about it for me, son.
All right, Steph.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Sim, the chat, the panel, and like somebody said, and I agree, this is the best Knicks video cast, because you could come straight from the chat into the like I did. I came from the chat onto the panel, and you never know what you're going to get. It's not just Sam up there talking. It's a good mix, depending on who logs on, you can get something different. Like last night, I missed it. I heard it was hot, but this is what happens. This is why you can't miss a show, because you never know what's going to pop off. As for the game tonight, man, I wish Mitchell was here, because I'm looking at Boston. We like one game behind them, and I think they in the 4th spot. And I'm like, if we could go on like a 3 or 4 game winning streak, we could be right up there 5 and 6 and not even have to worry about the play-in, right? If we're able to maintain. So without Mitch, it's going to be that much tougher for us. But I still have faith in in the team and whoever's going to step in. I think Noel's been playing pretty well for us. I just don't know if he could do it over the long haul. So I'm definitely one that's up for bringing in somebody, not to go crazy, bringing in somebody. But tonight, I say we still get the win. They without a lot of players as well. Wood, Oladipo, I say we get the win.
Yeah. Nate?
Yeah, the Knicks are going to win tonight. Thibodeau's, I'm not worried about the defense. If we struggle, he's going to get in people's head, in faces and say, hey, you guys got to better play better defense. And so I have no worry about our defense. I think we're going to lock down and we're going to do what we've been doing in the past. The last thing I'll say is that it's time for Toppin, man. With Mitch going down, the young guys got to step up. It's his time to shine. It's time for him to show us why he was drafted at that position, at the draft position that we got him at. It's time for him to unleash it, and I think that's going to happen. I really do, because usually when a big guy like that goes down, somebody steps up, and it's time for him to do it.
Right. And one thing that we're missing with Mitch is that guy that can get that alley-oop. I mean, Nerlens Noel can do it, but, Mitch was that primary guy. Obi can do it, right? Obi has crazy vertical space, and he can get up quick and in a hurry.
He's ready for somebody to throw him a lob.
He can, kind of, give us that, what we're missing with Mitch in that regard. Chop. Any last words on tonight?
Tonight, listen, I know we're going to miss Mitch's offensive rebounds and putbacks, if you will, not just the defensive rebounds, if you will. Mm-hmm. Like Nate just said, listen, Obi got to step up. Even if they go small ball, you might have Randall and then Obi, right? But somebody got to step up tonight. And I want to see the post game. When we win, like we did this for Mitch. That's it.
Okay. All right. I'm feeling that. And we didn't really talk about RJ. We kept it easy because we talked about RJ last night and it got hot. So we didn't really get into RJ. If you guys want to hear about RJ, just go check out last night's show. And you can hear everything you want to hear about RJ. We'll talk about RJ tonight. Hopefully RJ steps up and has a good game tonight. Then we'll talk about him tonight. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for joining me this afternoon. And I'll see you guys after the game tonight. Make sure you check me out on the halftime show with Die Hard Knicks podcast. We'll be on at halftime, and then check out the post-game show probably around 10:30, 10:45, somewhere around there. All right?
Yeah.
Peace and love. Spread love, ladies and gentlemen. We are out of here. Great show.